All right, so you've seen Hollywood before, and I thought I'd talk to him again, now that seen him again, so that he could talk about something else unique to him, which is how he's managing being diabetic on trail. So, do you want to tell us just sort of the story of
Yeah.
how it all started? And
Yeah, so I developed type 1 diabetes from COVID. I got COVID in early 2020, and I already had a genetic predisposition. I have a sister who's type 1 diabetic. Apparently, if you catch any virus and you have a predisposition, you can quickly develop uh, diabetes. So even if I caught herpes, I could easily have developed it. Um, So I'm still relatively fresh to this. It's still a giant math equation when I'm sitting at home that I have to try to figure out as I'm giving myself insulin. Uh, Out here, managing it, the first night was horrendous. I did what I would normally do, which is to get myself, after having walked or hiked 8 miles to Springer Mountain, which is not the usual thing in my life. I got my blood sugar to exactly the right number, went to bed, and my muscles kept soaking in everything because they really wanted to replenish everything that I had just spent. So I woke up a few hours later with a dangerously low blood sugar in the upper 30s, and I was in the top floor of the shelter. So it was a scramble to get out of the shelter and then over to the bear box to get to my sugary pills and stuff. So I decided that perhaps it would be smarter to stay a little higher than I ought to be most of the time. As opposed to shooting for 100, maybe shoot for 180 and then allow it to have that range to drop down. It was working out quite well for the first month, maybe month and a half. I could eat anything I wanted as long as I was hiking 10 hours a day. I was eating things that I don't ever touch in my regular life, just all kinds of oranges and dry top ramen, things like that. Um, And then I realized that that wasn't really doing it either. Now my blood sugar was staying far too high for far too long. Um, I got a little bit of a scare near trail days. I had some numbness in a finger and a toe, and I was afraid of diabetic neuropathy. That's essentially if you keep your blood sugar too high, um, your blood turns to like an acid and will burn your veins. Not really a danger for big veins, but all the small ones, right? So, in your digits, in your eyes, if those go, you lose your vision. They don't ever grow back. Uh, so now I'm being a lot more uh, regimented about giving myself the insulin like I should, or trying to hit a number like I should, which out here means you have a lot of bottlenecks to try and manage. How many needles do you have? How long is your insulin gonna last? Are you gonna run out? If you're eating only top ramen and you're actually giving yourself insulin like you should, then you probably will run out of insulin before your friend, or in my case girlfriend, resupplies you. Um, so the I think what prompted it was when you asked me, is it painful to give myself a shot? Um, which, of course, I mean, anytime you're gonna put a needle in your body, it's gonna be some amount of pain. It's not like a pleasurable experience for me anyway. But I think that there must be a acceptable variation on these needles, such that about every fifth one is truly painful. Um, and so out here, even though one should never reuse a needle, it's I'll give myself a shot, and if I notice this needle here is very pleasant, it's smaller or it's cut just right, then I'll reuse that one for 2 days even. Uh, and as far as the insulin itself, it will once you pull it out of the refrigerator, it will last 28 days. So my girlfriend, my partner, she puts on there 28 days when it will expire. She'll write the date. Right now they say June 10th on them. And as I approach June 10th, she'll mail me a new set wherever it is that I am. Uh, and as far as what to eat and stuff, I'm carrying, as far as weight goes, I'm carrying probably 4 pounds more than I ought to. I have a couple extra sensors and batteries. I have a extra thing to scan the sensors in case my phone stops working. Of course, extra needles and stuff, and lots of alcohol pads when you're truly dirty. you need to put some alcohol pad on there and clean yourself before you throw the needle in.
So for people who don't know about the sensors,
Sure.
can you sort of explain that and
Yeah,
how that works?
yeah. The analogy I use is driving a car. So your blood sugar level is up and down all day as you're eating and exercising and whatever it is that you're doing. And so if you imagine it as you're driving a car on a road, maybe just a 2-lane highway, if you only check your blood with a prick on your finger and the blood going to the sensor, it's as though you're driving blindfolded all the time, and only those 4 times a day that you draw the blood do you get to see, and you close it back up. And you have to do all of your correcting and all of your driving based on that, which is as impossible as it sounds. Having this sensor, you get to see the whole time that you're driving, but it's as though you need glasses. You can't see very well, and your vision is delayed. I think oftentimes I'll be hiking, I'll notice myself going into a low blood sugar situation, and I'll remedy that. And about 5 minutes later, the sensor will go off and let me know my blood sugar's too low. But even that is much more desirable than only having the finger prick. Using both of them in combination, I think, is the perfect way to do it. And I do carry the finger prick stuff because I left my bag outside on the snow day, and I believe that the pack of sensors that I had, the 3 or 4, I think they all went bad. So for a little while, until I was able to get a resupply of that, I just didn't really have those sensors, and I was having to do the manual thing. It With the delay on there, I feel as though it's worth it for me hiking to eat the food, let my blood sugar go higher than it ought to, and then start correcting it once I get to maybe the water source that's a mile away. Um, if I pack up my stuff and eat some food, my blood sugar might even be approaching 300. I'll start hiking. I'll hike half a mile and drop right into 115, right into a sweet spot range. Like I say, that took a little while to figure out. There was some time where I would leave at 100 and then have to start dogging down a bunch of candy and stuff just to maintain it. And that doesn't seem like the right, a bunch of Twizzlers isn't going to give you the energy that you need to hike up mountains. Um, yeah, so that, as far as the way these work and trying to manage with these, it's nice to be able to scan it and get some sort of trend. Either it's trending up or trending down, where the blood sugar read on its own, the finger prick won't tell you which direction it's moving.
And you said that you have you can only get one box of insulin at a time. That gets sent to your girlfriend.
Right.
Your girlfriend keeps those in the fridge and then sends you the insulin as you need it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's out of the fridge for a certain amount of time, then comes to you, and you've got 28 days to use it.
Right. Yeah. So the pharmacy itself will never give me just one vial of insulin or the two, one of each that I need. They'll only send me what is maybe a 6-pack or an 8-pack or something like that, which would be ridiculous to get that sent to me every 28 days and throw, 7/8 of it away. So yeah, I have them send that to my girlfriend. It comes in nice ice pack, and then she'll put it in the refrigerator. And like I say, the day that she'll pull one out of the refrigerator, I have 28 days from that moment, which might be 4 to 5 days before I actually get it in my hands. So it's closer to a 3-week turnaround on these vials. And I think also because I'm not trying to eat a bunch of candy or eat a bunch of honey buns or something like that, I'm not using so much insulin. If I was just focusing on that calorie count and eating all the honey buns, I think I would use so much insulin that I would need it sent to me even more frequently. I'd be running out before that 28 days elapses.
What suggestions do you have for people that are thinking about hiking the trail and have to consider diabetes?
I think if you are diabetic and you're not active now, it would be very beneficial to exercise for as long as it is that you have before you start doing the AT. Myself, I was already a pretty active runner. I would be running 4 to 5 times a week, maybe 20 miles a week total. And having that, and having had situations where my blood sugars drop too low, and knowing what that feels like is very beneficial. If there are times when I've woken up 6 miles from the next resupply town without food, and it's very important to know whether or not you can make that with your blood sugar. Um, and that's the kind of thing that I don't think that you want to find out that day. It'd be nicer to have that knowledge, canned.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for sitting down with us again
Of course.
and
Thank you so much.
explaining this for hopefully some people that
Starting
are
to feel like a
interested.
celebrity.
Yeah, I think so. Cool, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.